African news update on top accolade news. The headlines: Tigray faces new leadership. IMF warns of growing vulnerability for Africa. Libya focuses on economic challenges. Americans convicted in DRC coup attempt to serve life sentences in US. In politics, Tigray faces new leadership. Lieutenant General Tadesse Werede has been appointed as the interim president of Ethiopia's Tigray region. Tadesse, who previously served as the deputy president and head of the cabinet secretariat for peace and security, will oversee the full return of internally displaced persons and ensure the disarmament and reintegration of former combatants as per Pretoria Agreement. The swearing-in ceremony held on Tuesday was held by key government officials, including the newly elected chairperson of the African Union, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. This comes amid rising tensions within the Tigray People's Liberation Front, where political divisions have led to military takeovers in several towns and concerns over escalating conflict. Shifting focus to economy, IMF warns of growing vulnerability for Africa. The International Monetary Fund is preparing for a surge in funding requests from African nations as the economic fallout from US President Donald Trump's newly imposed tariffs begin to unfold. This tariff, which took effect last week, follows a freeze on US aid funding, putting many African countries in a vulnerable position. IMF African Department Director Abebe Selassie expressed concern that the poorest nations are turning to institutions like the IMF for support, with some already facing economic strains similar to the one experienced during the COVID-19 pandemic. As sub-Saharan African exports to the US reached $29 billion in 2023, the region's reliance on American trade is now under threat, with global financial support dwindling. Celeste called on African nations to develop strategies to overcome these challenges, while President Trump remains resolute in his tariff stance despite growing international backlash. Still in economy, Libya focuses on economic challenges. Libyan Presidential Council Chairman Mohamed Al-Menfi held a crucial meeting on Tuesday with the head of United Nations Support Mission in Libya and Special Representative of the UN Secretary General. The discussion focused on advancing the United Nations Support Mission in Libya's role in the country, with an emphasis on intensifying efforts to achieve a comprehensive political settlement and move towards holding elections. The meeting also addressed Libya's economic and financial challenges, underscoring the need for adherence to national migration laws and continued collaboration on migration issues as part of a broader integrated approach. Moving to international relations, Americans convicted in DRC coup attempt to serve life sentences in US. 3 Americans convicted for their involvement in a failed coup attempt in the Democratic Republic of Congo last year have been transferred to the US for custody after their death sentences were commuted to life imprisonment. The transfer, confirmed by US State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce, comes after the May 19th attack on the presidential palace in Kinshasa, led by 21-year-old Martin Malanga, the son of US-based opposition figure Christian Malanga. The 3 Americans, along with others involved in the coup attempt, had their sentences commuted by President Felix Tshisekedi and were repatriated to the US. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Still in international relations, Egypt chairs key conference on migration. The second ministerial conference of the Khartoum process opened Wednesday in Egypt's new administrative capital under the chairmanship of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptian Expatriate Badi Abdelati. This key event focuses on fostering coordination and consultation regarding migration issues from East Africa to European countries. The conference, which is chaired by Egypt since April 2024, brings together representatives from 40 member states, including EU countries, Switzerland, Norway, and nations from the Horn of Africa and East Africa. Also in attendance are key international organizations like the International Organization for Migration, the UN Refugee Agency, and the UN Office on Drugs and Crime. The gathering aimed to address migration challenges and strengthen regional cooperation. In health, U.S. cuts leave South Sudan's health system struggling. 8 people, including 5 children, tragically died on a 3-hour walk to seek medical treatment for cholera in South Sudan after U.S. aid cuts led to the closure of local health services. According to Save the Children, this death highlighted the devastating impact of U.S. aid reductions, which have left vital medical resources in the country severely strained. The cuts, part of President Trump's America First agenda, resulted in the closure of health facilities and transport services. The victims who worked in extreme heat could not reach medical care in time. Save the Children warned that these cuts, along with the reduced support from other donors, could lead to more death from diseases like malnutrition, AIDS, and malaria. South Sudan, already dealing with conflict and natural disaster, is facing an ongoing humanitarian crisis. In entertainment, Davido opens door for possible collaboration with Wizkid and Burna Boy. Nigerian superstar Davido opened up about his relationship with fellow Afrobeat giants Wizkid and Burna Boy, revealing that he no longer has a personal relationship with them. While the trio remained the focal point of Afrobeat's global success, Davido emphasized that the genre's rise goes beyond just the 3 of them, pointing to emerging stars like Rema and Ira Star. When asked about collaborating with Wizkid and Burna Boy, Davido kept the door open, suggesting that while there may be issues amplified by fans, it is not impossible for them to work together.
You know what I mean? It takes all 3 of y'all maybe coming together, doing records together, like especially now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. It's just sometimes I feel like people around us, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't want that to happen, you know what I'm saying? So
Why not?
eventually, like, huh?
You said wouldn't want it to happen?
Yeah, a lot
Why
of people
not?
like, I mean, some people make money off just not just being cool, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like with me, you know what I'm saying, there's been situations where we've all, you know what I'm saying, like all been cool. You know, so over years, so much success.
However, his comments comes amid ongoing tensions as both Wizkid and Burna Boy have recently made headlines with their attacks on the artist. Now in sports, Zambia Under-20 team steps up preparation for 2025 CAF Under-20 AFCON. The Zambia Under-20 men's national team is ramping up its preparation for the upcoming TotalEnergies CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt, set to take place from April 26th to May 18th, 2025. The head coach and his technical team are currently evaluating 36 players, with foreign-based players expected to join the squad in the final stages of preparation. The Under-20 AFCON will not only serve as a prestigious continental tournament, but also a qualifier for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, adding extra importance to Zambia's campaign. That concludes our African news update for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojarome Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.